again from the book of Acts this morning, Acts 2:42 through 47. The New Revised Standard of God's holy and precious word. Hear now the word of the Lord. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. All came upon everyone because many wonders and signs were being done by the apostles. All who believed were together and had all things in common. They would sell their possessions and goods and distribute the proceeds to all as any had need. Day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the good will of all the people. And day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. The word of God for the people of God.
Praise be to God.
Pray with me, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of all of our hearts be acceptable only in your sight. Lord, we pray that this word would penetrate our hearts, minds, bodies, souls, and spirits. Lift us now with your love and grant us with your grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. I want to talk with us briefly about the community of faith. The community of faith. As we look around and among us, we know that it would not take a rocket science to figure out that we have some major problems. We have them in our neighborhoods. We have them in our schools. We have problems in our homes and with our families. We have problems with our spouses and friends. We have them with our co-workers and significant others. So it doesn't take some genius to figure out that we have problems in many areas.
All right.
And with these problems, we have heard many solutions that usually come from outside sources. However, instead of going to outside sources, maybe we should look on the inside. Maybe we need to look at ourselves, because maybe the problem with our neighborhoods and relationships is that we have forgotten what it means to be in community. Maybe we've forgotten what it means to live with one another in the spirit of harmony and understanding. Maybe we have forgotten how to respect and honor one another as children of God and as creations in the image of God. Maybe we have forgotten what it means to be in a close, loving, caring, and mutual submissive relationship.
All right.
This is what community is. It's living with people in harmony, respecting and honoring one another. Being in a close and loving relationship with the other is I watch your back, you watch mine mentality. It's about having some of the same interests and common goals that everyone is trying to achieve. It's being there for one another. It's not succumbing to dog eat dog, but believing that I am called to be a blessing to someone, and when I am a blessing to somebody, God will allow me to be a blessing, will be blessed rather by somebody else. But we quickly find out that it's hard to find community. We can't find it in our neighborhoods. We struggle to find it at work. We sometimes can't even find it at home. Anybody ever been in a contentious and cantankerous home situation? But there is a place we should be able to find community. Surely if there's one place we can come and find community, it should be the church. I mean, the church is called, quote, the community of faith, or the community of believers, right? The church is all about community, right? The church is all about living and working together with one purpose and one goal in mind. The church is about being in harmony with one another. The church is all about sharing and caring and loving and hugging. The church is all about mutual submission, where we don't care if we win the battle, who wins the battle, as long as God gets the glory. Surely we can find community
Come on, preacher.
Amen.
All right. Yeah. In church, baby. All right.
But many times, folk can't find true community even in church. In many churches, they struggle with achieving a basic sense of harmony and caring for one another. In many churches, they struggle with the love your neighbor as yourself concept. In many churches, they're all about winning battles, proving who's in charge, instead of fighting the real enemy. There is an enemy, so don't give a rat's behind about you. We're so busy fighting each other.
Yes, sir.
By the time you get on the battlefield and try to fight the real enemy, you are already beat up.
Amen.
In many churches, they find it hard to even work side by side with someone on a project that they both know is a good one. Who's in charge of that? Don't show up. Don't come out.
Have mercy.
Oh, I'm going to stay right. I'm going to stay on my text. In many churches, they find it hard to be in and sustain community. Because they can't work with one another. They can't stand one another.
All right.
Why do folks find it so hard to be in community? We are created not to be alone in this world. So why do we find it hard sometimes to be in community? Well, maybe we need to look on the inside, because maybe the problem isn't on the outside. Maybe the problem isn't the place that they want to find community. Maybe the problem is on the inside. Maybe it can be found in them. Oh, let me get inclusive. I'm so sorry. So you won't be thinking I'm talking about those other folks. Maybe the problem is us. Maybe we the problem. Maybe I need to check myself. Maybe the problem when I'm looking in myself now, maybe I can see some problems of individualism. The more they talk about being in community, their desire to be in community, the more they fight against it. Maybe they are too concerned about the me, myself, and I instead of the you, we, and us. Maybe they have bought into the concept, I need to get everything right now. What's in it for me? I don't even want to join your church if I can't get nothing out of it. What's in it? How your youth choir? How's your activities? Can I leave my kids up here on Saturday and you watch them all day for me? You got something going on? Many of them are so concerned about the me in us that we completely forget about the you and the we. They try to find groups or agencies that can only do something for them. They look for neighborhoods that can only do something for them. They look for schools that can only do something for them. They only look for churches that can do something for them. Never once getting involved and participating. Just take. If I can't take it anymore, I'm going to leave and go somewhere else where I can take some more. And I guess in and of itself, nothing wrong with having a church that meets some of our needs. We all want a place where we are happy and contented. I get it. But we must remember that if this is the only reason we come to the church, and when we are concentrating on the I instead of the we going down a slippery slope. Because if we're not enmeshed into the community life of the church, we become like a junkie. Just getting a fix or a pump. Because when the program or thing that attracted us in the first place disappears or it don't tickle our fancy like it wants to, we find it hard to justify being there in the first place. Because we only came looking for what's in it for me. And another thing about the what's in it for me, the individualism that some folk have, wouldn't be so bad, baby, if they say, oh, you don't have that? Let me start it.
All right.
all about you, you don't want to do that. You just want to take.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be in charge. You don't want to start anything. Heaven forbid. Then people will be looking at you. Individualism. Run amok. But maybe another reason community is hard to establish for people is that not only are some of them caught up in individualism, but some of us are caught up in materialism. After having and have it now, they become so endeared to the god of materialism that they become trapped by the trappings that we so desire. In their search and quest for material possessions, forget about the community they're supposed to be a part of. They forget about sharing their time, talents, and treasures with the community of faith. They are more concerned about net worth than praising God, who is worthy to be praised. So many of them get caught up in the culture and beliefs of the day that the word is choked and they produce no fruits. Yeah. Materialism. Always got to be somewhere else. Always got to do something else. Even after you promise that you'll be here doing what it is that you're called to do. After taking vows, some of us, from the God and church. It's a little bit more than about money. It goes into that individualism thing as well too. What do you value? Everybody say, well, we all broke, Pastor. But what do you value? Your hair appointment or Bible study? That game or, quack. Sitting at home doing absolutely nothing, or at least doing absolutely nothing with the phone up to your ear for the prayer line.
Have mercy.
What you do last night? Nothing. Why you wasn't on the prayer line? We trying to be a praying church? Come on! Help me! Help all of us. But not only individualism and materialism, not only what you value and what's all in it for you, but some folk are not in the community because of their elitism. Some folk think they're better than other folks. So see, I'm serious. They believe they should have more privileges because they either give more, attend more, serve more, or praise more. Some folk believe and think that they are better than the Jane or Johnny come lately. Even though we are all in sin and fall short of the glory of God, they believe that my sin just ain't as bad as your sin. So therefore, I'm better than you. Some folk are so elitist that they don't even feel like they sin at all, Reverend Graham. They're more like the Pharisee in Luke 18:9 who prayed, I thank God that I'm not like other people. I fast twice a week. I give a tenth all that I get. But Jesus said that the tax collector who just pleaded for mercy went home justified instead of the elitist Pharisee because he did not humble himself.
Yeah.
Some folk are so elite they can't even be humbled. Have you ever seen somebody spectacularly fail at something and still think they are all that and a bad too? We see you in flames, my brother.
Yeah.
My sister, you are burning in flames. You failed, you messed up so badly. And we all see it. They just hating on me. No, you just messed up. Folks with an elitist mindset are lifted up with pride. They're never wrong. Preacher never talking about them. And then they have the unmitigated gall sometimes. If it wasn't for me, I don't know what this church would do. In their elitism, they try to do everything, be everything, serve everywhere sometimes, and know that all things because they feel better when they are in control of the situation. But you can't juggle too many balls in the air. Something's going to drop. Oh, but the elitist think, oh, that's the plan. I mean to do that. I meant to do that. But I need to remind somebody about something very seriously. The church is a bad place to be an elitist. Let me stop right here for a moment. For you see, the truth is that the church has some very low recruitment standards. I'm just saying. We don't do a background check. We don't run a credit report. Thank God. We don't ask for you to fill out any application about your references. We don't call your parents or friends to see what you were doing while you were growing up. We don't ask about how much money you make. Don't care where you work. Don't care what side of town you live on. We don't care who you know. If you can confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and Savior of your life, that's what you're in. What I'm trying to say is that anybody can join the church. Rich people, poor people, good people, bad people, shouters and pouters, urban and suburban, uptown, downtown, dreamers and schemers. Anybody can join the church. Why? Because the church really don't belong to us anyway. It belongs to Christ. It belongs to the one who says, come as you are, for whoever will is the motto of the church. And if anybody can join the church, guess what? We're going to be bound, we are bound rather, to run into people that don't look like us, act like us, think like us, or have the same interests that we do. Churches are some sanctified social club. Churches is some secret organization with handshakes and signs. The churches is some fraternity or sorority that can pick and choose who they want. Churches is some sports team where we have draft picks and fight over churches over free agents. We don't go to the meeting on August the 1st down at the Cook Convention Center and draft saints. I'm going to trade 3 or 4 of G-Lifers over there. You know, we're going to get some more from the church down the street, round the corner. We're going to get 3, 4 more with a promise to have 1 more in a future draft pick.
Come on, Johnson.
The church is the place where Jesus is Lord, and even though any and everybody can join the church, guess what? We're still called to be in community. And whenever you get to thinking of your little church noses that you are so elitist and that your stuff don't stink and all of that, just remember you're part of the church too. And there is at least one person asking, what in the world is she or he doing? But I'm so glad that we here at G-Life aren't wrapped up in individualism. And I'm so glad that we are thinking about and serving the other. I'm so glad that every now and then we know that things aren't going to go our way, but we still support the vision and mission of this church, and we still strive to stay in community. I'm so glad that we're not into materialism. I see how we are coming together and becoming a tithing church and a church that would give out of our poverty to the least of these. I'm so glad that ministries are being formed and transformed that are given to these outreach ministries, and we are not going to be a problem for this church. I'm so glad that when we come together for fundraisers for all of our birthday months, that we are celebrating and we are fellowshipping and we are loving on one another. I'm so glad that we are not an elitist church. We know that everybody's welcome here at G-Life. We don't think that we're no better or no worse than any other person, and we strive to treat others as we would like to be treated. I say all of this because G-Life kind of reminds me of the early church. In our text this morning, Luke gives us a clear and precise picture of what the community of faith should look like. After hearing the gospel, these people wanted to be part of the community of faith. So they devoted themselves to the apostles' teachings and to the fellowship. In other words, first they were a committed group of believers. Like we are here at G-Life. There wasn't no sideline skeptics or know-it-all Gnostics. They didn't sit on the fence or just hang around the grandstand. They saw and felt that the Spirit was moving in the house. They all marveled at how the Spirit was performing miraculous signs and wonders through the apostles. They knew how they felt. They knew something was going on there, and they had not gone on before. In other words, they saw the powerful, wonder-working power of God in their lives, and they wanted to be a part of that. Every day, they went to the temple courts to praise God. They stayed with the process. They didn't give up even when times of being a Christian was tough. They were committed to the community and being part of the community. In other words, they didn't run away and go back to their old way of living. They hung in there and they stayed in community. But not only were they committed, but they also communed on a regular basis with one another, like we do here at G-Life. One of the reasons why we have communion every Sunday here is that that's an opportunity to not only commune with God, but also with each other on a regular basis. But the early church took that a step further. Guess what they did? Not only did they break bread together in the context of worship, but they also met and ate at each other's homes. In other words, they fellowship and got to know each other. You get to know folk over a meal. And by being committed and by communing with one another, they dropped the I in me and discovered the we in me. But not only did they commit and commune, they also showed concern and compassion. Like we do here at G-Life. They didn't want anyone in their group to go without. They tried to make sure that everyone got what they needed in the way of physical needs. There is no need in the world for anyone to go hungry if you are in community. There's no need to go naked if you're in community. There's no need to go homeless if you're in community. No need in the world to be without the basic needs of survival if you are in community. Community helps you live. Also, but in order to show concern and compassion for the community, they also were released, delivered, and set free from the god of materialism. For you see, their material possessions didn't get in the way of them being and living in community. Look at the text. Matter of fact, they sold their possessions and goods and distributed them to the proceeds to those who had a need. But notice they didn't sell everything. They only but sold their possessions. They gave and shared with the community the things that God gave them to share in the first place. We don't know how much there was, but apparently it was enough to distribute the proceeds to those who had a need. Who wouldn't want to be a part of a community that when you need something, not want it, but need it, that community can provide a remedy for your need? Now, I know we don't like to talk about the church like that because we don't know about taking advantage of it. No, the spirit of the church is community, and community means helping folk in need. We declared a long time ago here at this church that nobody will go home. Nobody will go clothed naked. Nobody will go homeless. Nobody will go without the basic basic needs of the church. Surely you can find a cup of soup or a can of soup at somebody's house if you're hungry.
Yes, Lord.
We serve the God of abundance, God of enough. And finally, after being committed to community, after being concerned and compassionate, the early church complimented each other like we do here at G-Life. Knowing that they all came from different backgrounds and upbringings, knowing that they didn't share everything in common when they first got together, knowing that they all didn't look alike, act alike, think alike, they still complimented each other. They now shared all things in common and had the goodwill of all the people at heart. In other words, they weren't caught up in the power of elitism. They didn't think they were better than anybody else. They didn't place themselves on a pedestal. They didn't fight for plaudits, position, or popularity. All they wanted to do was to praise God, and praise God not by themselves, but in community. And I just stopped by this morning to tell you that I love you. And I am glad that I am your pastor. I'm glad that I serve a church where the members are devoted to the teachings of their leaders in fellowship with one another. I'm so glad that I serve a church where pastoral leadership is appreciated. I'm so glad that I serve a church where the Spirit is allowed to work. Signs and wonders are being manifested daily. I'm so glad I serve a church where we know that it's more blessed to give than to receive, and in order to be blessed, we must be a blessing to somebody else. I'm so glad I serve a church where we are fellowshipping with one another, just in church, but everywhere. I'm so glad that I serve a church where we know little something about all of our members, and we try to find common interest even outside of the church. I'm so glad I serve a church where we have the goodwill of all people at heart. So glad that I serve a church that doesn't intentionally take advantage of anyone or supporting one another with all of our time, talents, and treasures. No, I'm not delusional, but I'm so glad I serve a church that will lead the way for other churches to implement the servant leadership model. That we are doing justice, loving mercy, and walking humbly with our God. I'm so glad that I serve a church that is practicing community where women and men are endowed with gifts from God. I'm so glad that I serve a church, a gifts-based church, that everyone is struggling to see if I have a ministry, but what ministry do I have, or what ministry will I serve? I'm so glad I serve a church where people can come and visit and get a warm sense of warm and caring spirit. I'm so glad that I serve a church that is practicing all of this, and God is adding to our number daily because we are practicing community up in here. Who wouldn't want to be a part of a church like that? One more thing before I close. I'm so glad that I serve a church that allows me to serve you, allow me to walk with you, allows me to talk with you, allows me to pray for you as you pray for me and Lisa and I. I'm so glad I serve a church because I know when the word begins to get out about the church we have up in here, especially when we attach that power to it, the folk will be running up in here asking that age-old question, what must I do to be saved?